Welcome back, everyone. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kenny Robinson, and I upload consistent videos on investing, real estate, financial freedom, entrepreneurship, budgeting, all sorts of different videos to help you get to where you want to be financially and in life. Now, in this specific video, we are going to cover unstoppable wealth. What do I mean by that? I mean wealth in perpetuity, consistent passive income to where you don't have to get out of bed. You don't have to take that phone call. You don't have to be at that Monday morning meeting if you don't want to.
I own you. You're my bitch.
The trick is being lazy enough in order to get there. A lot of you out there are very hard workers. But the trick to all of this is being lazy enough to get rich early in life. That way you don't have to work ever again. With that being said, let's begin. In this video about unstoppable wealth, it's really all about choices. Now, the decision is truly up to you. The two main choices that most of us have is one, you can work for your money. This is called active income. Or two, your money works for you, which is passive income. This is lazy people income. This is Kenny Robinson income, all right? Now, most, if not all of us, start out in life by working for our money. This means we clock in, whether we're on hourly wage or salary, right? We go there and we're only making money when we're actively selling our time to a corporation, right?
Me off either because I told Bill that if they move my desk one more time.
We're actively spending our days, our life essentially, selling our time to a corporation. Now, sometimes we get paid very well for that. Sometimes we feel like we don't get paid enough. But whether you're a brain surgeon or you're an order taker at McDonald's, both of you and everyone in between that spectrum are selling their time either to a corporation or to others for the benefit of other people. Now, that doesn't mean that that's bad. It just means that you have less freedom than those that focus on their money working for them. I'd much rather have my money working for me than me working for my money. Like I said, I'm really lazy, and that's how I became wealthy, and you can too, and here's how. This is typically what we see a lot, especially in Western societies. We spend the first 20 or so years of our life in the learning phase, right? Growing up, developing, learning, going to school, learning maybe a particular skill to start out in young adulthood. And then we typically take our early to middle 20s in our earning years all the way through about age 65 typically. Now, hopefully 65, right? Typically, people don't take their career seriously probably until about age 30 when people really kind of know exactly what they want to do or something where they feel like they can tolerate it for the next 30 to 35 or 40 years, which honestly is a little bit sad. And then they spend the next 35 years essentially working, selling their life for some sort of corporation for health benefits and maybe a month off paid vacation, 2 weeks maybe sometimes, all the way until age 65, hoping that they've saved enough for retirement and hoping that they still have their health in order to enjoy whatever nest egg that they've built up in that time. And now here's the living, right? And so sometimes we don't have our health, sometimes we're too old to do anything, sometimes opportunities have passed us by the time we get to 66 plus, when really we've earned our freedom, so to speak, right? Now this model for a lot of people, it works. They tolerate it, but if you're watching this video and you're truly unhappy with your job or where you're at and you would like more time to yourself, just know that you have choices. You don't have to spend your life selling your time to a corporation or to anyone, right? How? Well, let's take a look at this. Buy passive income. A lot of people say, well, I don't have a specific skill. I don't know how to start a business. I don't want to start a Shopify store or some sort of online retailer or some sort of click funnel site, right? All you have to do is buy passive income, right? Buy passive, right? Keep your time, income, so you own your life. That's all you have to do. And it starts with dividend stocks. Now, why specifically dividend stocks? Well, the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what about growth stocks like Amazon, right? Isn't that stock making people rich? That's very true, but that's one growth stock out of how many hundreds of thousands of companies that are out there and able to be invested into. The reason I like dividend stocks is they're consistent and you're not speculating on anything, right? With a growth stock, you're betting when you buy that stock, you're going to be able to sell it to someone for a higher price at some point in the future. With a dividend stock, you're always receiving that consistent income. A lot of people go about this wrong. Now, I want to show you in the background of life what you can do to build up your wealth while you figure out a nice high-paying skill or some sort of business, right? This doesn't have to be your only thing, but I want to show you on my computer how dividend stocks can make it to where you can sleep in on Mondays. You don't have to take that call. You don't have to take that meeting. You don't have to answer to anyone if you don't want to. Now, is it going to be easy? Not necessarily. Is it one of the easiest things you can do? Yes, if you're lazy, this is a great strategy for you. Again, if you're a really hard worker and you like working your entire adult life, God bless you. I don't know how you can do it. I personally cannot do that. I have to be able to sleep in if I want. I have to be able to click ignore on my phone if I want. I hate answering to people. So again, I'm really lazy, so I chose to buy passive income rather than working for my money. Now let's go ahead and hop on my computer and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. And just like that, we're in my computer. So when we talk about dividend investing and compound interest and how powerful it can be if you give it time to work in the background of life while you build your skill set, while you work on earning more and more every year, you want to start putting money away into dividend stocks. Now, when we take a look at average returns, right? We see 3-year average on this exchange traded fund. This is just a basket of dividend stocks. We want to look for dividend stocks that consistently give us pay increases. Just like we're trying to earn more active income, our investments should consistently be paying us more and more and more. So investments like ticker SDY, ticker NOBL, these are the types of investments that continually increase their payout to shareholders, which is very important for this strategic and lazy way of getting rich. We look at the 5-year returns, the 10-year returns, we're talking double-digit returns, okay? So this is the type of investment that someone can use for this strategy. Now let's go ahead and go to the compound interest calculator. For those of you that have never calculated what compound interest can do, I think it's going to amaze you on how much this really adds up. So someone can become a millionaire in 20 years by investing $2,000 at a 7% rate of return. Now you'll notice, let's go back. Now a lot of these investments perform better than 7%, right? 8%, 9%, look, 10%, 14%. But we want to be safe. We want to be realistic when we make these calculations. So let's go back. Let's just say 7%, 20 years. Let's say it compounds annually. Let's put in $2,000 a month. And let's just calculate this really quick. So your total deposits was only $482,000 over that 20-year time span. Although your total interest in this column is over $500,000. You've earned more interest than the money that you've contributed. So you are now a millionaire. It turned out to be $1,028,551.49. Again, this is how powerful compound interest can be when the investments are left alone to compound and work without human interference. When you set this up in the background of your life and you earn more and more and more and you work on side hustles, right? Everyone has side hustles that they're not proud of. I was a janitor scrubbing toilets. I worked at a 2-star hotel at night doing all sorts of nasty laundry and folding sheets and dealing with all sorts of people in and out of the rooms, right? So these are the types of side hustles that I did in my early 20s to make several $1,000s extra per month to put it into my dividend portfolio. And every month I earn more and more and more money, not only in my dividend portfolio, but in my actual active income life that I now enjoy and I choose to work at. So when we talk about other investments, we look at, okay, well, if we want a portfolio all-in-one, something that we don't feel like we have to touch, there's an all-in-one diversified core portfolio out there. There's several of them, depending on your risk tolerance, conservative, moderate, you want growth, or aggressive investor, very low expense ratios, and you have a nice mixture of the different stocks and bonds and all sorts of different asset classes that someone can invest in. And when we look, essentially the rate of risk or aggressiveness, so to speak, is consistent with the rate of returns that investors have been experiencing since inception, right? So when we look, you can earn 5.5% on the most conservative one, 6.35 on the moderate one. On the growth one, you're looking at over 8%, and on the very aggressive one, you're looking at almost 10% long term. So these are the types of investments, here's the tickers, that you can set up in the background of your life, of course, continue to do research. And this is something that you really truly have to be lazy for it to work, right? Now, a lot of people, they get up and they work and they work and they work and they never really invest much, or they never really concentrate on investing their money so they can sleep in. Those people, I don't know how they can continually do that day after day after day with no end in sight. Me being especially lazy, probably lazier than the average lazy person, I wanted to make sure that I owned my time early on in life to where I could do the things I want. And my dividend portfolio has provided me with that freedom to be able to do whatever I want. So hopefully this video gave you some resources. Again, check out the calculatorsite.com. You can also do withdrawals, right? If you want to say, okay, now that I built up $1 million, how much can I start withdrawing, right? How do I invest it then? Now, if you're interested in other types of dividend investment videos, growth investment videos, real estate investment videos, that's a lot of my active income is real estate. Check out my other videos on my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the community. Hit that subscribe button because there are more videos to come.